Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Kalamazoo City Commission to order for Monday, November 11th, 2019. With the most impressive and amazing clerk in the universe, please call the roll.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Commissioner Cooney.
Present.
Commissioner Cunningham.
Here.
Commissioner Griffin.
Here.
Commissioner Urban.
Here.
Vice Mayor Knott.
Here.
Mayor Hopewell.
Present. Commissioners, you have before you item B, approval of the minutes of the City Commission meeting of October 7th and October 21st of 2019. Is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Commissioner Cunningham, supported by Vice Mayor Knott. All in. Let's do a roll call.
Commissioner Cooney.
Yes.
Commissioner Cunningham.
Yes.
Commissioner Griffin.
Yes.
Commissioner Urban.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Knott.
Yes.
Mayor Hopewell.
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes. Yeah, I was just trying to eke out a few more minutes. just a couple more, you know. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion carried. Item C, Commissioners, this is typically the traditional time if there are any comments from those who are leaving the dais or any other comments you would like to make at this time. We'll begin with Commissioner Griffin. Whatever you want to do.
I just want to take the time. I did speak a little bit about this at our last commission meeting, but it has been an honor to serve as part of this commission. And I've learned so much from you all, and I just am very thankful and honored to have been able to serve with you all. And the two of you, Commissioner Cooney and Mayor Hopewell, the jewels that you all have given me have been invaluable, and I will forever take them with me and forever cherish them, and I just thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Anderson?
So, Mr. Mayor, if you really want to drag this out, I can go on and on. But you have looked at me in the past saying it's too much. I presume that would happen tonight also.
Well, you won't get those looks anymore.
I might be across the backyard. There will be more opportunity for us to talk about this commission, and particularly the two people who are up here with us tonight who won't be coming back. So I will just say this. Commissioner Cooney, Mayor Hopewell, it has been, I told you this, Patrice. We were just sitting in the back and I said, I'm a crier. Thank you. And it has been a phenomenal, transformational experience for me to serve with both of you. And it has been phenomenal and transformational for the city of Kalamazoo. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your service. And I know you're not going anywhere. And so I will appreciate and look forward to your continued input on how we can move this great city forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just, Mr. Clerk, are we going to have a moment, the Commissioner Cooney and I, after the next part of this, or no? Because if not, I'm going to speak here.
I think you'll have a moment.
Okay. So, Commissioner, you want it now, or you want to wait a little bit? Later. Okay. Commissioner Urban?
Thank you, Mayor Hopewell. I'd just like to remind everybody that, to me, Commissioner Cooney and Mayor Hopewell embody affection for Kalamazoo. And as they leave our dais, I think a lot of us are going to remember for a long while. They're really kind of personify Kalamazoo in a way. So they're three-dimensional people, but they're representatives of our affection for the city as well. Thank you.
Commissioner. Mr. Cunningham?
I'm going to be long-winded. I don't know about my colleagues, but I'm going to take some time. Dr. Cooney, I appreciate who you are as an individual, and I think that often gets lost in the fray of doing this work. And please excuse me, we have quite a few criers up here. So, Dr. Cooney, a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to sit down with you and Patrice, and we were at Western Michigan University. And as you told a little more about your story, it helped me connect the dots even better. One of the things I always appreciate about you is your authenticity. And it's so funny that the individual that you were today, you were yesterday, and that same individual you were a very long time ago. But I appreciate that. And one of the things that I always admire about you is just being true to yourself. For those who don't know, I just had a quick conversation with him, and he had his mother's rosemary and his father's ring, and the importance of that, maybe not a lot of people would have grasped, but to me, I caught hold very quick that you never forget who you are and where you come from and what you represent and what you stand for. And I admire that, and I aspire to hold on to that. And I think that's something that I hold very true to me, and a part of what I've learned from you along the way. So I appreciate for your service. Now to that brother over here, Mr. Bobby J. Hopewell, the Honorable Mayor Bobby J. Hopewell. You know, you are a mentor, a colleague, a boss at times, but above all, you're a friend. And I think over the years, it's developed into family. There's so many different things that I can say, but I can't put it into words, what you mean to me, what you've meant to my family. And I'm appreciative of every moment we've had together in life. And so I hear that, that the next step in your journey is going to be a book club. Held on Mondays, every first and third Monday at 7 p.m. So,
At Don Cooney's house.
no, but in reality, you and Don are two of the longest serving in different capacities, and I think there's a reason to that. I think there's a reason why this community has supported you guys on this journey. I think what you have done has been legendary. I can't state that enough. Legendary. Transformational. I won't go into 20 other verbs, but the reality is this community is a reflection of you because of the work that you guys have done, the burdens that you have bared. And one of the things I really want to point out in this moment to everybody who is here is the reality that people don't understand the long nights. People don't understand the sacrifices, not just of them, but their family members. People don't understand the hatred and the frustrations that come along with these certain types of roles. I told you guys I'm going to be long-winded, so get with me. One of the things I noticed, I saw a very influential individual in this community, and I don't even know that this would be the place and time to say it. Come up to Bobby, and I'm going to use you, not mayor tonight, you Bobby, because you're family, and talk to him in a manner that I would have shut a whole block down, city block down, if you approached me in that same manner. And I've seen his humble approach and response. See, people don't see the scars. They don't see the scars and the burdens that you guys bear. But on tonight, I want to highlight that no matter who it was, no matter when it was, no matter how it was, we always put this city first. And in that moment, that was a lesson that I learned, that you can't come down and shut the block down like you want to all the time. you have to be professional, and diplomacy always has to be the front runner, and this community has to always be first. And I appreciate that. I'm honored to have served. I'm honored to have your friendship, and I look forward to our journey moving forward. I love you, big bro.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, Don, I want to share with you a story that I told you once before, but it seems appropriate to share with everybody tonight. It was June of 2009, and I was in Washington, D.C., I was part of a movement where thousands of people stormed the Capitol and were doing Hill visits around what became the Affordable Care Act. And I had hundreds of people that were visiting their Michigan delegates. And I was sitting in former Congressman John Conyers' office. And I was meeting with his chief of staff along with folks from Detroit. And we were trying to get the congressman to sign our, whatever it was called, our pledge for the Affordable Care Act. And the chief of staff said no, because as you're aware, Conyers was the champion for House Resolution 676. And for those of you that don't know what H.R. 676 is, it is the single-payer bill that was in Congress up until this year when it got a new number. And as I was talking with Conyers' chief of staff, he leaned in and he said, you know what you got to do? You got to go back to Michigan and meet this guy in Kalamazoo. And I leaned in with my BlackBerry. I'm like, I'm ready. And they said, you got to talk to Don Cooney. Because if you want to get a movement behind the ACA and put pressure on members of Congress that back House Resolution 676, it has to come from Don Cooney. So I came back thinking, how in the world do I get into Don Cooney's universe? We worked together sort of when I was at LISC, and we worked on some poverty issues, but you didn't know who I was. And I got finally a meeting with you, and I pitched the Affordable Care Act, and I gave you my spiel about how the ACA is kind of like buying a house. You can't buy a house and move in the same day. We'll get to single payer. And you gave me a chance. And there were so many times on the in-between then and now when I couldn't be in the 6th district and you held Fred accountable for me. And together, you and I formed a friendship way before I got on the commission. And when I couldn't be here and Upton and others were trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act once it was the law of the land, I knew that I had an ally and a fighter. And we've stood together side by side for over a decade now, fighting for health care. And that is my biggest memory of you, sir. And I thank you for allowing me to finally fold into your club. You worked with me in 2015. I consider you a mentor and a friend, and I will continue this work ahead until everybody has access to quality, affordable health care. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
And to you, sir, Mr. Mayor, I got a slideshow of memories in my head thinking about your service. You enjoying the kids in the park when I couldn't lead a march for you when you were in Lansing racing back. You probably don't even remember it. But you wanted me to take the kids around the park, and I can't do this. Bobby's the person that does this. There was all the canvassing memories. There were the memories in admin and thinking about what became the Foundation for Excellence. My favorite memory, I think, is when the Supreme Court made marriage the law of the land and seeing you in the park, offering up your services to marry people in our community. My promise to you, sir, is that I will continue to do the work. I know you've told me, you mentioned it to my brother just the other day when you were out doing the work for somebody else, that you're going to take some time off, that you're going to discover you and just enjoy the downtime. And I think in about a week, you're going to be itching for some opportunities.
Don't even think about it.
So when you're ready to get back to work, I got some projects for you. I need a staunch ally in Lansing by my side going into 2020. So give me a shout. It was an honor being your vice mayor, and thank you for everything that you've done.
I'm going to reserve my comments for later. I didn't know if the staff, I didn't want you to not, or maybe is that in the next part? No, whatever. If you want to take a moment now, you can, or you can wait, or you don't have to say a darn thing, as far as I'm concerned. So, all right, I'll take that as what it is. All right, we are at item D, report of the Board of Canvassers for the general city election of November 5th. Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Commissioners. The Kalamazoo County Board of Canvassers has certified the following results from the municipal election held on November 5th, 2019. Having received 5,879 votes, David Anderson was elected mayor. Having received 5,242 votes, the highest number of votes received by a city commission candidate, Patrice Griffin was elected city commissioner and vice mayor. Having received Having received 4,369 votes, Gene Hess was elected city commissioner. And having received 4,202 votes, Chris Pradle was elected city commissioner. That is all, Mayor.
The report of the Board of Canvassers for the municipal election of November 5th, 2019 is received into the record. We are now going to adjourn Scene A. I got it right for the first time after 12 years. And we're going to have a few things that are going to change up here, and we've got to change some nameplates around, and a couple of us have to take different seats, and others join these wonderful people. So we are adjourned for a moment.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us for this important occasion. To mark their election to public office, the mayor, vice mayor, and commissioners are being presented with a city pin which bears the seal of the city to remind them of the solemn duties enjoined upon them as they take office. Each commissioner-elect has asked a special person in their lives to do the pinning. I will call them up. The commissioners will receive their pin, and then they will take the oath of office. The first to do this is Commissioner-elect Eric Pradle. If you could please stand and come forward. Chris, what did I say? Sorry. Chris Pradle. Pinning Commissioner-elect Pradle is his wife, Erin. Commissioner-elect Pradel, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of City Commissioner according to the best of my ability. Do you agree to abide by this oath? I do. Congratulations. You may take your seat at the dais and sign your oath. Okay, next is Commissioner-elect Jean Hess. Please come forward. Presenting her with a pin tonight is her husband, Jim Hess. Okay, Commissioner elect Hess, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of City Commissioner according to the best of my ability. Do you agree to abide by this oath? I do. Congratulations. You may take your seat at the dais and sign your oath. Next is Vice Mayor-elect Patrice Griffin. Pinning the Vice Mayor-elect is Mayor Bobby Hopewell and her family. Vice Mayor-elect Griffin, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of City Commissioner and Vice Mayor according to the best of my ability. Do you agree to abide by this oath? Congratulations. You may take your seat at the dais and sign your oath. And finally, Mayor-elect David Anderson. Presenting Mayor-elect Anderson with his pin is his wife, Corey Terry. Sorry. Mayor-elect Anderson, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Do you agree to abide by this oath?
I do.
Congratulations. You may take your seat at the dais and sign your oath. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present the 53rd City Commission of the City of Kalamazoo.
So I've got a little handwritten note up here. It says, "Do not touch." I'm not sure what it's pointing to, but I guess that's the button that turns off the lights in the entire city. The 53rd City Commission is hereby called to order. Clerk, best clerk in the entire state, Borling, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Cunningham,
Ooh, that's a new. Here.
Commissioner Hess, Commissioner Knott,
Here.
Commissioner Pradle, Commissioner Urban,
Here.
Vice Mayor Griffin,
Here.
Mayor Anderson.
Here. So, first lesson, how to turn the mic on and off. We good with that?
Here.
For our opening ceremony tonight, we have the great Dr. Addis Moore from Mount Zion Baptist Church here for the invocation. And Dr. Moore will come forward, but I ask that we stand and everyone in the audience remain standing through the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
God, we dare not continue tonight without invoking your presence. We know that you have created everything and everything belongs to you, including this 53rd Commission. We thank you for your goodness and your mercy toward us. Thank you that you've used the voice of the people to select leaders for this city. Now, God, you told us to call upon you and you would answer us and show us great and mighty things that we do not know. You told us to seek first your kingdom and your righteousness, and you would add things we need unto us. We now give this commission to you. Newly elected Mayor Anderson, Lord, we give him to you, Vice Mayor Griffin, we give to you and all these commissioners. Ask now for your wisdom to guide them your direction to lead them, your peace upon them, their families, and their constituents. We acknowledge you, and we invite your presence, your power, and your protection in this city. Thank you for the city of Kalamazoo that you've used now in a mighty way, that is as an example to others. Now, Lord, we yield to your lordship, and we adjust now to the decisions that you've allowed to be made. Thank you now for leading and guiding. Thank you for keeping them in your love and in your peace. It's in the precious name of Jesus we do ask all things. And this is thy servant's prayer. Amen.
So first thing I want to do is I want to welcome guests here, all elected officials and community leaders that are here in attendance. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We do have some proclamations on our agenda, and the City Commission would like to present a proclamation to Commissioner Don Cooney. Vice Mayor Griffin will read the proclamation. Commissioner Cooney, will you please join me at the podium?
It is my pleasure to read this, honoring Don Cooney for dedication and service to the city of Kalamazoo. Whereas Don Cooney has served as a city commissioner of the city of Kalamazoo for 10 terms from 1997 to 2019, including 2 years of service as vice mayor from 2015 to 2017. And whereas Commissioner Cooney has served on numerous city commission standing committees and subcommittees, including the Administrative Committee, Legislative Committee, Internal Audit Committee, Housing and Neighborhood Development Policy Subcommittee, Public Health, Education and Safety Subcommittee, Poverty Reduction Subcommittee, Racial Equity Subcommittee, 2010 Visioning Subcommittee, Anti-Discrimination Ordinance Subcommittee, Service Delivery Transformation Subcommittee, Shared Prosperity Kalamazoo Steering Team, and the Shared Prosperity Kalamazoo Families Work Group. And whereas Commissioner Cooney has served as an officer, liaison, or member on numerous boards and committees on behalf of the City of Kalamazoo, including the Community Access Center, Public Media Network Board of Directors, the Community Relations Board, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, Prevention Works of Southwest Michigan, the Environmental Concerns Committee, the Community Action Agency Advisory Board, the Community Development Act Advisory Committee, the Friends of Recreation Board, and the Legacy Cost Task Force. And whereas Commissioner Cooney has been a steadfast voice and advocate for the most vulnerable in our community, and has worked tirelessly to keep issues of equity and justice on the public agenda, including poverty, youth violence, police and community relations, LGBTQ rights, racial equity, affordable housing, and prisoner reentry. And whereas Commissioner Cooney has been instrumental in the creation and continued support of Kalamazoo communities and schools, the Summer Youth Employment Program, the Foundation for Excellence, and Shared Prosperity Kalamazoo. And whereas Commissioner Cooney has left an indelible mark on the community as a result of his love for and dedication to the city of Kalamazoo. Now therefore, the 53rd City Commission does hereby honor, recognize, and thank Don Cooney for his 22 unbelievable years of dedicated service to the City Commission and his many contributions to our community. Thank you.
You want to talk, right? I think you're supposed to. All right, so there's some other objects here, correct? All right, so, yeah. That's that, all right. So, in Don's case, we were wondering whether there should be a key to the city or a fob for the city. And we thought, key, definitely. So, as a recognition, there is a lovely key to the city with your name on it here, and we hope you will use it on a regular basis. Yes, all right. One other thing, and then you'll get to talk. Don keeps wanting to talk here, so let's. This is a certificate of donation acknowledging a donation of $200 made to Urban Alliance on behalf of Don Cooney. Thank you. Yeah.
So, I got a sore throat, so I do the best I can. First of all, I want to thank the people of, I want to face people. I want to thank the people of Kalamazoo for giving me the chance to do this work for 22 years. And I want to thank my colleagues. It is such a joy and honor to serve with such wonderful people as you and our city staff, our city manager, and all of you folks. So, there's a line in the play Hamilton where he sings, "I want to be in the room where it happens." And I was lucky enough to be in that room for the last 22 years. Now I'm moving out of there. But I think of what Robert Kennedy said one time. Few of us have the opportunity to bend history, but all of us can stand for justice. And every time a person stands for justice, it sends forth a ripple of hope. And those ripples, coming from 1,000 different sources, can wipe away injustice and create the world that we want to see. Thank you so much.
The City Commission would like to present a proclamation to Mayor Bobby Hopewell. Commissioner Knott, will you read the proclamation? Mayor Hopewell, will you please join Mayor Anderson at the podium, please?
So I've looked at this proclamation. You're going to have a lot of time on your hands. Mike's on.
Killing me.
All right. Proclamation honoring Bobby J. Hopewell for his dedication and service to the city of Kalamazoo. Whereas Bobby J. Hopewell served as a city commissioner of the city of Kalamazoo for 2 terms from 2003 to 2007, including 2 years of service as vice mayor from 2005 to 2007, and has served as mayor for 6 terms from 2007 to 2019, making him the longest-serving mayor in the history of the city of Kalamazoo. whereas has served on numerous city commission standing committees and subcommittees, including the Administrative Committee, the Legislative Committee, the Internal Audit Committee, the Kalamazoo Promise Subcommittee, the Racial Equity Subcommittee, and the Shared Prosperity Kalamazoo Steering Team. And whereas Mayor Hopewell has served as an officer, liaison, or member on numerous boards and committees on behalf of the City of Kalamazoo, including the Historic Preservation Commission, the Planning Commission, the Kalamazoo Area Transportation Study Policy Committee, the Downtown Development Authority Board of Directors, the Friends of Recreation Board, the Kalamazoo Transit Authority Board of Directors, the Kalamazoo Regional Water and Wastewater Commission, the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority and Economic Development Corporation, Boards of Directors, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, the Kalamazoo County Central Dispatch Authority Board of Directors, and the Foundation for Excellence Board of Directors. And whereas Mayor Hopewell's vision for the city as a masterpiece in progress has been all-encompassing, and he has exercised collaborative leadership to include and engage the entire community in moving forward the work of the city. And whereas Mayor Hopewell's transformational leadership was instrumental in creating the Foundation for Excellence, which has put the city on new financial footing and has allowed people to dream about the future once again through the Imagine Kalamazoo 2025 community visioning process. And whereas Mayor Hopewell has led the city through times of triumph and tragedy, celebrating and mourning with a heart that beats with the rhythm of Kalamazoo. And whereas Mayor Hopewell has made an on our perfectly imperfect community as a result of his love for and dedication to the City of Kalamazoo. Now, therefore, the 53rd City Commission does hereby honor, recognize, and thank Bobby J. Hopewell for his 16 years of dedicated service on the City Commission and his many contributions to our community.
So, first item is a big ribbon around it. It's in the parking lot outside. No, actually. It's a Metro bus. All right, so my fob idea was thrown overboard, obviously, so it's beautiful, isn't it? Also, a key to the city of Kalamazoo. It seems so little in some ways, but it is symbolic of so much more. So appreciate that. I don't know if everyone got a shot of this nice key here. And there's more. Picture, you want to wrap it? We call this Cranes Over Kalamazoo. Thank you. And last but not least, certificate of donation acknowledging a donation of $200 made to Pretty Lake Camp on behalf of Bobby J. Hopewell.
My name is Bobby J. Hopewell. I live at 525 Stewart Avenue. Good evening, Mayor Anderson, the Honorable Vice Mayor Patrice Griffin, Commissioners Prado and Hess, Urban and Cunningham and Knott, our clerk, Scott Borling, an attorney that is known statewide and one of the most amazing attorneys I've had the pleasure of working with, Clyde Robinson, and then no doubt in my mind, a man that can steer a ship of a great city that I have so much respect for, our city manager, Jim Ritzma. It is an honor to stand before all of you. Mayor, if you would allow me, although your first mom could not be here tonight because she's not feeling well, I continue to have the former first mom stand in for her as always. Their birthdays are 2 days apart, and he and I live 2 houses apart, so it seems fitting that the first mom is here. Commissioners and all the folks in the audience, you know, when you run for this office and you have the honor of sitting in one of these seats, there's a lot that comes along with that. There's a lot of greatness, and there's all kinds of other things that come along that make you wonder, was this the right thing to do? But I think about service and leadership, and you take it all as part and parcel. At this podium for years, we've heard individuals talk to this body, and sometimes it's not even our work. Sometimes it's our work. Other times it becomes our work because we are wise enough to see the greatness of what's for us, and we move that work forward. Every citizen that came out to vote on Tuesday of last week, thank you, because we have an amazing city commission, and whether you voted for these individuals or not, they will be serving you. They will be diving in and doing the work. I'm so proud of Chris Prado, who I've known for 10 or more years. Seen you at the WSA, taking on the challenges as a student leader, and now you get to lead your hometown. Proud of you, sir. Jean Hess, my friend, who I twisted her arm to run for this office, and she said, "Me? Really?" Well, yes, you, really. Excited for all of what you will do. The amazing vice mayor that we have, who I was so honored to be able to help appoint her about 120 days ago. And now she sits in the seat as our vice mayor. And this lady, what is so impressive, it's all about policy for her. It's all about doing the work. We can be activists and we can be champions, but when you sit on this dais, some take the realities of what you have before you a little differently because you know, you get more information, you speak to your colleagues, you get to work with the staff who are diving in deep and heavy and wide and all kinds of ways. Commissioner Urban, always keeping us on our toes in regards to making sure that we allow citizens the opportunity to dive in. Maybe we wander into a space and let's see what happens. I kind of like that. I didn't always like it, but I can like it now and I'm not up there. So, but no, I think that work has been important because it does allow us to think a little bit and try something and then at the end of the day make a decision. My little brother, you've become so special to me. Your heart is amazing. Your love is amazing. I have been blessed to be in your presence. I'm so honored that we will be friends for a long time. You aren't getting rid of me, sorry, and that's just not going to happen. We are connected. Who would have thought in that class at Western Michigan University in Battle Creek, where we had a little, and we still, but man, I love you so much. And the vice mayor, I'm calling you that, sorry. Here's what I like so much about you. You keep us focused, at least you try to, and sometimes I listen. You are so strategic and so mindful that we need to dive in and think before we move. We need to not always open our mouths and say a whole lot, just move the work forward. Be smart about it. Speak when you need to, but you don't always have to. And leaders need to learn that more and more. More and more. And to my big brother, here's what I know. There is no person that cares about this city any more than you do. There's no person that is sitting in the mayor's seat right now, today, that is more about getting things done for our citizens and building our community. This is not a trajectory to go somewhere else. This is not about Washington or about Lansing or about anywhere else other than Kalamazoo, other than the north side and the east side, other than Winchell, other than Edison. That's the work you've been doing all of your life. All of your life. Working for us in this perfectly imperfect place that we have the expectations of perfection. No simple task of moving affordable housing, no simple task of dealing with the infrastructure. There is no simple task to moving prosperity and moving poverty out of the way. There's no simple task. And you've been about that, relentless, all of your career. And you're sitting in that seat as a recognition of that work and the expectations of all of you that we have more to do. We have more to do. And then to the amazing Dr. Don Cooney, who I've learned so much from, who's taught me that you can be an activist and you can be pragmatic and logical, that you can disagree and still be agreeable. That every day, if you dive in with your heart, you can have an impact. And you've had an impact, sir. Especially on me. I love you. It has been an honor, the honor of my life, to serve my hometown. To be able to look at my mom, the first mom, and let her know, hey, we're going to do something. We're going to impact something. Hey, Mom, this is going to be a late one because we're going to dive in. It's the honor of my life to have my brother Kevin sitting here with me, who's had to put up with this knucklehead guy for a long, long time. I love you, big bro. We are a blessed community in so many ways. You are on an amazing journey. I will stand with you and beside you anytime you need me. I will continue to fight for folks to understand what we're attempting to do with Imagine Kalamazoo, with the Foundation for Excellence, which is about moving our city, and it's nothing other than that. It's about people finding opportunities. It's about investing, Commissioner, as you've said over and over, which we would not be able to do that investment for our people, but for this amazing opportunity. And then finally, I just want to mention what a great privilege it has been to work with such smart and driven staff. You know, they sit in the back of that room and every day I know they're working so hard to try to figure out this amazing, complicated place. Whether it's recreation or it's public services, the folks in the manager's office that have to deal with me more than they thought they'd have to. Our public safety officers and our chief, who have the hardest job of everybody. You folks will be what I will remember the most, because I know your hearts. I know what you want to accomplish, and I know what you feel about this place and how you dive in hour after hour after hour. So I'll leave you with this. And you've heard my phrase, masterpiece in progress, and some people think that it's just a phrase for me. It's not. We will always be a place that is in progress. We will always be this place where all of us get to put our brushstrokes on, or weave the tapestry, or dive in to whatever's before us to make this place better, to make us feel that each other are connected and connect with each other differently. We are a masterpiece in progress. Now you have the brushes, commissioners. You new folks, you have the brushes. You have the needle. Use it. Create it. Add to the masterpiece. God bless you all.
Now is the opportunity for comments from anyone who would like to come up to the podium. Standard practice is you have 4 minutes, and they'll be ably timed by Clerk Borling here. So are we signing people in tonight, Scott? All right, we are. So please come on up, and you'll have 4 minutes. Please give us your name and whether you live in the city.
Good evening. It's an honor to stand before you guys, and I just want to extend my appreciation for your guys' efforts in this election, in this campaign. And I truly believe that you guys are the right people for these positions. And we all know that change is resisted. And I truly believe that you guys will fight for change. I truly believe that you guys love the people of Kalamazoo. And for me, it was an honor just to throw my hat in the ring and speak my voice and be able to shift the narrative in different dynamics in the city. And my hat's off to you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate what you're doing. You have an ally here with me. Anything that you ever need, just please call me. And I'll be willing to help and work on any project that needs to go forward in this city for the city and for the people. For the next 2 minutes, I just want to pray for you guys, okay? Heavenly Father, I just thank you for how you give these individuals leadership, how you give them compassion, how you have given them grace and mercy, Father God, above all things. Lord, I pray that the tender love that they have for people will be perpetuated in ways where people would start to wonder and ask, what's happening in Kalamazoo? And Lord, I pray your blessings on their lives. I pray that you would continue to give them the boldness that they need, the encouragement, Father God, when they're sitting at home and they realize this thankless job, man, it's so hard. But Lord, I know that you have created these individuals for this time and place. And so, Father God, I give you thanks, glory, and honor and praise for them. Lord, we trust your will over their life and what they're going to do in our city. And we give you glory, honor, and praise in all things, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. I just want to clarify a little bit here. Actually, we have an extra comment time tonight, and this is the extra one. So if you could keep your comments in this period to celebratory comments related to this effort, there'll be a later time for general citizen comments.
Hi, I'm State Representative John Hoadley. I live at 2720 Parkview in the city of Kalamazoo.
And I'm Kelly Doyle. I live at 220 Buchanan, Kalamazoo.
We just wanted to take a couple of minutes. First, of course, thank our returning commissioners for your ongoing service. To welcome two fantastic new commissioners, Commissioner Pradel, Commissioner Hess. To send sincere congratulations to our new Vice Mayor Griffin. And of course, congratulate Mayor Anderson. But our celebratory comments tonight, we would like to make sure that we recognize the outgoing service of two incredible folks who have served Kalamazoo for so long. So first, to the conscience of Kalamazoo, Commissioner Cooney, thank you for 22 amazing years of public service. You have been a stalwart on issues of justice and equity, and you have literally changed generations of lives in Kalamazoo with your service. And to our friend, Mayor Bobby J. Hopewell.
Mayor for life.
Thank you for your vision, your leadership, sometimes some very frustrating conversations with you, but at the same time, your commitment to doing the work, to being Kalamazoo's #1 cheerleader and the guy that always gets things done. So we opened up a call to ask folks to join us in saying some words of thanks. And so, just in a matter of days, nearly 200 people sent you personal messages of thanks for all your work that you've done in Kalamazoo. And so Kelly and I just wanted to make sure that we presented this to you.
So we thought we'd just read off a couple of the comments that I put all of the comments together today, and I would say that the trend is how people just love seeing you around town, how you're always there to hug them, how you're so down to earth that people that were in Portage were like, I wish you were my mayor. Seriously. Or we moved and we're sad that you're not our mayor. But I think, a couple of things. Love Chambers said, I really love seeing you around town. And you are such a presence in the community. It was heartwarming to have. There are big shoes to fill. Love Chambers. Jeffrey Ingalls says, you officiated my wedding with David, and it will always remain one of the highlights of my life. Thanks for being a part of it. Also, you are a model of kindness and a friendly face to every one of our friends and relatives when we meet you at the farmer's market. And that seemed about every week. Thanks, Bobby, you rock. So we just put some pictures together and a bunch of quotes and just wanted you to have this because you mean so much to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hi, I'm Patty Schaller Barber. I live in the city, and I come to you as the president, the very proud president of Kalamazoo Public Schools Board of Education. And so first, and I can be a chatty being and ramble, so I took notes. I'm going to try and script myself. Let's see how it works. First, I'm going to turn to you, Bobby J. Hopewell, Mr. Everywhere. You are just an amazing friend to every child in KPS. You're a KPS grad. You were there when Michael Rice came. You helped. You greeted. You attended. You partnered. You read. You guided. You supported. You argued. You fought for. We owe you so much in KPS for everything you've done. You have our undaunting gratitude, and I'm going to throw in friend for life, my man, friend for life. So then, to Mr. Cooney, and who doesn't love to hear Don Cooney speak, that Philly accent? Forever you can speak to me, man, forever, forever. You've always been a champion to children for your sincerity, your vision, your drive, your zeal for education. You always got children in your heart, students in your heart. I don't know what Kalamazoo, and for me, when I first started in this game, you gave me some really wise words. You will always be friend for life. Thank you so much, my man. Thank you, thank you. And to David Anderson, our new mayor, thank you for coming to the board before the election, but mostly thank you for coming after the election. That's the most important visit. And when you came, you offered a challenge to interact, to have meetings, to partner with KPS. And we are here to say we're there. Let's do it. We're ready. We know that we can be done. We can't get any of this work done because so many of our issues are interrelated. So let's go. Let's get them. And to Chris Pradle, who's always got that smile. Look at that smile. And to Jean Hess, the humor, amazing humor. And to Patrice, what a wonderful asset you are to anything. I congratulate you. What an honor to lead this great city. We share your guidance, your concern, and your absolute love for our 13,000 children in KPS and our 2,000 employees. Thank you for being leaders in the city, and thank you for partnering with KPS.
Thank you. Next, please.
My name is Jim Selm, and I'm from Saugatuck. I am brother of Jean Hess, and I am honored to have been asked to read something prepared by her son, Andrew, who could not be here this evening. Mom, or should I say, Madam Counselor. First off, congratulations. What you have achieved in such a short amount of time is nothing short of remarkable. You managed to pack 20 years worth of retirement events into a few short months. Oh, and you got elected to city office as well. I can remember sitting in the room after your final game and Mayor Hopewell saying, not so subtly, that he wanted you to run for office. Right then and there, I knew you would do it, and I knew you would win. I didn't know this because I have an in-depth understanding of the political landscape and voting friends of the city, nor did I truly understand what representing the City Council of Kalamazoo truly meant. The only thing I did know was that the city of Kalamazoo and what it meant to me, and what it means to you. This is a place that thrives on the strength of its residents, a place that cultivates community, values equality, and diversity. In all of my stops and travels, I still hold my home as the gold standard for community living. You built this into the framework of your teams for all those years, and that is why I knew you were meant to do this, and why you would ultimately prevail. My entire life, you've driven a message of gratitude, service, and giving back. It comes as no surprise that in the time that you could have rested, relaxed, and enjoyed a wonderful career, you chose to serve and to give back. You don't need to define another legacy. That has been established within the framework of Kalamazoo College. You don't need to make the city a better place, but you will. You don't know yet what the next 4 years will bring, nor do any of us. But I do know that in the end, something great will come of it. You will succeed because the people believed you will. You will succeed because you are supported by so many friends and family who care about you. And you will succeed because I love you, and if all else fails, love will not. Mom, I'm sorry I couldn't be there to read this in person, but it makes me incredibly proud to see all of your accomplishments and hope that one day we will be able to look back and say that your legacy lives on. I love you always, and best of luck in your term. Love, Andrew. Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Mic check, mic check. What's up? My name is Ed Genesis. I am a Kalamazoo resident, North Side to be exact. I want to first of all say congratulations to everybody who is now taking a new seat. I want to say thank you to Don Cooney, Mr. Don Cooney, and to Mr. Bobby Hopewell. I'm not going to get choked up. I stood up here to give props. First of all, I have to say that I asked Mayor Mr. Bobby Hopewell yesterday, would he do the honors of pinning the pin on my wife, Vice Mayor Patrice Griffin, Big Patrice Griffin, put some respect on that name. I asked this because for the city, the service that I've watched Mr. Bobby Hopewell do, it's just been tremendous. And I am a community organizer, so I go hard. Y'all probably will see me and I get on your nerves here and there, but I promise you can work with me. And I'm not easy to work with, but I will work with you. Asking him to do that yesterday, I knew what I wanted to see because Vice Mayor Patrice Griffin, big Vice Mayor Patrice Griffin, the work that I've watched you do, the canvassing, so many hours of canvassing, you not letting this go. Once you got on that path and that journey, I am so super proud of you. You are literally like, I look up to you. You inspire me. You motivate me. And I want everybody to know how much you had my back for so many years and just rolled and just pushed and just, you were my manager, my comforter, my best friend, my everything, and you did not want the limelight at all. It was just all about making sure me and the kids were straight. Then you started talking about these policies. You started really getting on my nerves about these policies. And I'm like, well, just come with me and let's just, let's protest. Let's make some noise and disturb some things, put some people on blast. And you like, no, I want to change the policy. I want to really change it. And I stood with you, and I'm proud to stand with you in the fight with you. I'm so excited to look up and see where this city is about to go and to know that Vice Mayor Big Patrice Griffin is about to play a part in that. I am so proud. I am so honored to be not only your husband, second gentleman, as Mr. Bobby Hopewell says, and I take that. I take that because it's an honor to stand next to you and to say, I not only know her, I support, and I will stand alongside you in anything you're doing, but especially this right here, which makes the city so much better for our children and so many other children. I'm right there with you. I thank y'all so much, but you rock. You got it. I love it.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Moore. I reside at 414 West Patterson Street on the north side of Kalamazoo. I want to congratulate each and every one of you. Chris Prado, we are so proud of you. You are amazing, and we are expecting great things from you. Commissioner Hess as well, and also to our Vice Mayor, Patrice Griffin. I'm literally just overwhelmed with just happiness. Being a younger Black woman in this community, to be able to see you, to be able to look up to you, to be able to know that for us for so long have been left out of the conversation, out of the room, and out of the policies. We now have representation. The neighborhood, women, families, and children have more representation at the local level at the city of Kalamazoo, and I could not, my sister, be more proud. You, Commissioner Cunningham, Urban, Knott, you all have your work cut out for you, and we're here for you. Mayor Anderson, we are proud of you. You have my full support. I'm not going to do everything, but you can call on me every now and then. I do want to say to my friend, Don Cooney, you are the best ever. If it wasn't for you, you literally reached your arm across the other side of the railroad tracks and grabbed my hand and brought me along. And for that, I am eternally grateful. You stood there, you walked there, you showed, you mentored, you guided, and you corrected. And that means so, so much. I can attribute a lot of my growth, a lot of what I know to you, your teaching, but more importantly, your love, your heart. And for Kathy, every time you let him come, whether if it was Mothers of Hope or in the neighborhood or whatever, I truly appreciate you and the sacrifice that you give. To my brother, Mayor Hopewell, you are always my brother. You will always be my friend. You have always been that one that taught me that no matter what, you do it for the city and you do it out of your heart for love. So we appreciate you. I had some children at the office today practicing the piano. Of the 9 students, 7 of them are little Black boys. And I was sitting there listening to them, and then I put my headphones on. But I was listening to them, and I was thinking, we have had a mayor for so long that look like these little boys, that they can aspire to, attribute to work towards their greatness, knowing that the way has been paved. So thank you. We love you and appreciate you. And just know that our city is better. Your masterpiece is a work in process, and we know that all this greatness is going to come forward to make sure that there's diversity, inclusion, equity, but more importantly, healing in our community that bridges the gap between those who are less fortunate, who don't have the voice, who have not been invited in the room, but the opportunity is there for the city, for the local government, and even our state officials to look and say, we will make sure our Black babies live, we will make sure they're educated, and everybody in this city has a home that's decent and affordable. So thank you all for your work, and congratulations to you all on the work to come. We expect greatness, and to whom much is given, much is required. Have a good evening.
Are there any communications tonight from the city manager?
None, Your Honor.
City attorney? None, Your Honor. Anything more, city clerk?
No,
All right.
sir.
So, counterintuitive as it may seem, we are now at another time for citizen comments. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on any topic? If so, please come to the podium. You have 4 minutes. Please state your name and whether you live in the city. Thank you. So first of all, the next thing that comes up here will be commissioner comments. And I'd just like to take a moment to thank everybody for coming tonight. We were quietly sitting in the back room and getting prepared to do this, and I was thinking about how we celebrate these events together. In some ways we do them in a formal way, but it's a way to slow down for a moment and recognize the importance of the work and the importance of the work continuing. So I appreciate it very much for all of us who are here tonight participating in this and through the entire campaign. Also, thank you to everyone. There was a lovely reception here down in the atrium, everyone who came and participated in that. I'm sure there's cake that can be put in take-home cartons left if anybody wants any. And now is our opportunity for each of us to speak. I'll start with you, Commissioner Urban.
Well, I think we've heard a wonderful collection of heartfelt thanks and appreciation to all the people who are coming and going, and I don't think I need to add anything more. I just want to just recognize what a watershed moment this is for the city. Thank you.
Commissioner Cunningham.
I have a few more words than that. I'll start off just words of wisdom. A couple things. One, as you mentioned, Mayor Anderson, and to put it kind of in different words, be present in the moment. I know it's the end of the night and it's the end of the celebration, but the reality is it won't feel this good the rest of the trip. Reality is, to my colleagues, a lot of the individuals who are here tonight are here because they support you, they love you. They went to battle with you at some point in time along in this process. And reality is they won't be here every single meeting. They won't be able to hold you accountable every single moment of this process. But as a team, you know, in my culture, you know, I can talk about you, but can't nobody else talk. And I just want us to continue the mission and the vision that our legends, and see, that's one of the things I don't want anybody to take lightly tonight. And that's why I want us to be present in the moment. Because too often we celebrate at death, but we're talking about individuals who are legends, walking and living legends. Resumes that I aspire to even get a quarter of. And to my colleagues, once again, that, you know, I want you to feel comfortable, but beyond tonight is about the work. And that is the most important piece of this charge that we take on, is to ensure that we're about the work. To all of those who voted, I appreciate you taking part in this democratic process because it is very important. If you did not vote, I have a frustration with you because I find it valuable. I find it important. And I know that I appreciate those who are here, but all of those who did not make it to this space, but still ran in that race. Whether I agree with you or disagree with you, the reality is I appreciate you for taking part in something that's not easy to do. And so, to my colleagues again, this is going to be a fun journey. Chris Prato, I'll start with you, my friend. You know, I asked you to run, and when you said yes, it really made me excited because there's one commonality that I know is in you, and that's Christ. And I know he got it from his mother, and I appreciate that so very much. Now, to Mama Prato, we love cookies and food and whatever other gifts you would love to dawn us with. But in reality, Chris, you know, I look forward to your vision. I look forward to working with you side by side, and I know that you have the best interests of this community at heart. Ms. Hess, you know, you ran an amazing race, and here you are, and I look forward to this journey with you. You know, it's, once again, it's not an easy task to come here, and I had that same sit down with the Honorable Bobby J. Hopewell, where he's pulled me aside to say, hey, I want you to put in the application, because I got appointed. And I told him yes, but in the back of my mind I said, there's no way in the world I would do this. But on to Vice Mayor Griffin. It's an honor to see you in this space. A win for you was a win for me. I love Aaron Knott, but 2 years ago, my goal was to be vice mayor, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because I understood what it was to be an African American and to go through the channels that it takes to run this race. And this is something that you guys don't realize. There's a lot of stripes. There's a lot of good and bad that comes along with running the race, just running it. And so I look forward to, once again, your vision, your leadership, your guidance. And I have your back. You know you can call me at any point in time. And if you don't want to call me, get a hold of your husband. I'm sure he'll call me. But yes, you know, I appreciate you taking the risk to run the race, and I'm honored that the community saw fit to put you in that role. And so I look forward to continuing to serve with you. And then to the Honorable Mayor David Anderson. You know, when you decided, well, it was interesting. When he first was deciding on whether he should run or not, I said, yes, you have to. And one of those reasons is I really, really, really enjoy your leadership. I enjoy your style. I enjoy, you know, understanding and watching and listening and learning. And I appreciate it because it's reciprocated. And that is what is important moving this community forward. I think we had a great mentor in Bobby to see how diplomacy works. It is a reality. No matter where you're at on the spectrum, no matter your thoughts, your background, your history, the reality is it's about getting the work done. And I've made a promise to my big bro, I've made a promise to your wife that I'm gonna take care of you as best as I can. When it's time to chastise you and put you in your place, I will chastise you and put you in your place. But in reality is, it's all done in love. And for all of those who know me, I love this community, I love this city. There's no better place in the world, there's no better place in the world in history, no better time in history. And the reason why, and it's very simple, no other community in history has more family and friends than Kalamazoo. And so based on that alone, as long as I am here, I will continue to work with my colleagues. And once again, like I said, I'm honored to have Aaron Knott and Jack Urban here. You know, Jack, you are consistently always there for me. And when I'm not able to do something, I can always rely on you. And if you're available, you meet that need. And so I appreciate that. And all of the effort and the time. And see, these are some of the things that oftentimes the community doesn't get to see is how we work together. I don't know whose platform that was, but we're better together. And so I look forward to that. Me and Aaron Knott, we ran a race together. And then, well, against each other at the same time, but then we came together and we understood that it's not about us, it's about the community. And I want everybody in the community, everybody who's watching this on TV to realize that at the end of the day, it's about us working together. And everybody up here that I know, their heart is in the right place, and that's the most important factor. So thank you for allowing me to have a few extended words. But city staff, I can't leave you out. City Manager Ritzma, I think it was mentioned earlier in regards to your guidance, your leadership. I trust it. I trust that when I'm not able to be in the room, that you're doing the right thing. The same goes for all of our city staff, because I see their passion. I see, you know, their work and their driven side, and Mr. Brown, and it's so funny. It's one of our city staff. He's so serious and stern every single day. And then I get to see him outside of work, and he's a comedian. And so I can't take him serious anymore. But I know that he takes this work very serious. And these are the type of things that are important to me. and I know they are important to my colleagues.
Commissioner Knott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I shan't break my reputation tonight of brevity or my mantra of less is more. So I just want to say a couple things. You know, Commissioner Cunningham referenced this past election, and I want to remind everybody that more Kalamazoo citizens came out and voted in this past election. And I think that that's, you know, in part because of the good work that you all did and the candidates that ran that are out in the audience tonight. But I also think it is a recognition of the fact that folks want change, and people are frustrated and people are hurting, and they made their voices heard in this past election. And we have to now harness that energy and get them engaged now that the campaign is done. And that'll be all of our challenge up here. To those of you that are veterans and you have served, I don't know if Chief Carrie Ann Thomas is still here. Thank you for your service. It is Veterans Day. Sheriff Fuller, thank you. I guess thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I don't know if the roads are still slick, but be careful on your way home. Thank you.
Commissioner Prado.
Get to test out the fancy red button here. I've been waiting for that. Want to start off tonight, first off, just thanking my beautiful wife, Erin, for everything. She worked as hard as anyone to make this possible, and I can't thank her enough. We have spawned two amazing boys who have our genes, and therefore I didn't think could survive it here tonight with their high energy level. And so Lincoln and Simon, if you guys are watching this, love you guys, and you guys are the reason I'm doing this. To Don and Bobby, I tend to keep things that remind me of my past. And one of the things that I kept in a binder when I was a student at Western was a front page of the Kalamazoo Gazette at the time declaring Mayor Bobby Hopewell by 57 votes. He taught me how to put a yard sign in the yard. He looked at me and said, "Pradle, you're doing that wrong. It's like this." I think the one thing that stands out to me about both Bobby and Don is that I believe that true leaders don't get people to do things. They get people to lead. They inspire people to lead. And they've done that for me. And I know they've done that for countless other people in the community, so thank you. Also wanted to just thank our veterans today. I know it happens to also be Veterans Day, so with all this celebration, I wanted to make sure to acknowledge hardworking men and women who have served our country. You know, I grew up in Kalamazoo, grew up over by Spring Valley Elementary School, and in the 5th grade, they had a going to local government day. And I remember, you know, I was listening to all my friends, and they were saying, one of them said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to gavel in with the mayor." And somebody else got to turn in the siren and ride with the police officers. And I found out that I was going to the water reclamation plant. And you can imagine my dismay with that at the time. But I distinctly remember that that was a moment for me. That was a changing point in my life. Because I remember meeting these hardworking men and women who do something that we take for granted every single day, and that's local government. Local government matters more to us than any other level of government that we watch in our lives on TV and the politics we see on CNN. Local government is where it all happens. It's on the roads that you drove here and hopefully were plowed. It was on the toilets that you flushed throughout the day. It was the clean water that you turned on that you just trust that you'll be safe to drink. And I think that to me is just a reminder of the onus that we have as elected officials and that we have as a community to be an example more than any other form of government, now more than ever, that we need to show this community what a team can do to work together, about what true leadership and true dedication to a community looks like. And I believe we can do that. And I have more faith in this group and their ability to do that than I ever have. I wanted to just mention also that, you know, I think this changes you. I lived here my whole life, and I've heard police sirens, and I've watched kids playing in parks my whole life. But serving in this office, all of a sudden, when I hear a police siren, I think differently. I think about the brave men and women who are rushing to that scene. I think about the people that are struggling, that they're serving. When I see kids playing in the park, on Lake Street, I think about their future and the ability that we have to transform their lives. And when I see the hardworking men and women who are fixing a water main break in sub-zero temperatures, I think about how hard they're working to make sure these important things that we take for granted are here for all of us every single day. I won't forget about those people. I'll think about them every day I walk outside my door. I also wanted to take a moment to thank the people who ran in this race. We saw about a 3% increase in voter turnout, and I think that's pretty impressive for local government. And so I want to take a minute to acknowledge Pete and Emily and Jake and Andy and Benjamin and David B. and Esto and Corey for pouring their heart and soul into this race as well. Because I do know one thing about those individuals. They worked their tail off, and they love this city too. And I hope to have an opportunity to work with each and every one of you on some project coming forward. And I'll end this tonight as well. Patty Schuller-Barber, thanks for being here tonight. But I also wanted to just remind folks, please talk to your kids. Talk to your kids about their words matter, their actions matter. We all saw what happened in our public schools today, in middle school and high school level, and we can start having that conversation. We need to have that conversation with our kids. It's never too early. And the second thing I wanted to just remind everybody is, with our first snowfall, it's important that we keep our sidewalks cleared and whatnot. So if you have a neighbor that could use a hand, please chip in to help out those individuals. So with that, thank you so much. I look forward to serving with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hess.
Thank you. And Chris, thank you for your words. I'm inspired to work with you. I too am about words. I think it's really important that we look at the deeper meanings of what it is that we say. First of all, I come with gratitude. Gratitude. When you think with gratitude, it is impossible to feel stress or fear. So I come here with gratitude. I had a lot of people step up and say, are you afraid? No, I'm just so very grateful. So no stress, no fear, but eyes wide open. And today I speak with gratitude, and I ask you, after you leave this place, to connect with at least one other person with a note or a word of gratitude, because that is what is going to make our city stronger. I have overwhelming gratitude on this Veterans Day for both the veterans that have served and all who have served our country. And tonight, for this opportunity among family and friends and this community. First of all, I'd like to thank my husband, Jim, for his love and support during the campaign. And Chris and everyone who has run a race here, we know that those moments happen at home when our spouse would rather not be with us. He was there the whole time with love and support. He has seen me at my worst, and he believes at me for my best. And I live with a giant of a community advocate, of an advocate for Kalamazoo Public Schools, for the children of this community, and for all the citizens of this community, because he is a great realtor, father, grandfather, and husband. To my brothers and my family who are here, thank you for your support. My brother Jim, who earlier read the proclamation from my son, I just lost his husband of 37 years. And David is here with us tonight in spirit, because when I first thought about running, it was to him, it was him that I went to for advice. He has served on the East Lansing City Commission for several years and made great changes in that community. So I serve with David Ballas' spirit throughout my time here on this commission. My brothers and I grew up in a household with the Republican headquarters phone it was a phone on the wall. Because my mom and our mom was the administrative assistant for the Republican headquarters in Plymouth, Michigan. at a time when being a Republican might have meant something different. What we learned from her was service. What we learned from her was pay attention to your community, be involved in your community, serve your community for the greater good. So I appreciate, and my parents are here in that regard as well. All who helped me campaign and learn, Eduardo, Peter, Bob, Janice, Bobby and David, and all of you, thank you so much. To those who voted for me, to those who did not, if you did not vote for me, I promise to work every day to earn your trust and to earn your vote back. My son Kevin, you are here, and you said once to me, like, why would I leave Kalamazoo? You left Kalamazoo, and you honestly, with your intelligence and who you are as a person, could live anywhere in this world. And you chose Kalamazoo to raise your family. Thank you. You inspire me to be a better mom, to be a better citizen, and to be a better grandmother. Gratitude to all these city employees who work every day to make the magic happen in this city. It's like we stepped into Disneyland. And it's real here in Kalamazoo. I look forward to working with all of you and learning from you as we move forward. To commissions past, especially to Mayor Hopewell and to Don Cooney, who I look to for inspiration. I've heard that you are legends. I believe you are legends. The word legend literally means life of a saint. And if Kalamazoo had saints, we would have Saint Bobby and Saint Don. Thank you for your service. To this 53rd City Commission, I look forward to serving with you because I'm a volleyball coach by trade. Volleyball, if you recall, has 6 people and a 7th libero. So I'm really comfortable working in these small groups of 6 or 7 people towards something greater than myself. Because yes, Eric, together, everyone achieves more. I said on the campaign trail that I'm a connector, I'm a collaborator, and I'm a creative thinker. I do have humor, and I will use it every now and then, but I also have a heart of service and a deep, deep love of this community where my husband and I moved 37 years ago, not knowing what to expect. I won the lottery in Kalamazoo. We could stay stuck or paralyzed trying to heal global warming, but what I'd like to do is what Chris referred to as local politics and make things happen right here in this city. It begins with talking to our neighbors. It begins to expressing gratitude for those with whom we serve and for whom we serve. It begins in believing in our community, which again literally means to have charge of together. I look forward to the dialogue from everyone, to input from everyone toward our commission and as we work together. We are the seeds for health. We are the seeds for growth. We are the seeds for education, Kalamazoo as this education community. So therefore, I will work to create awareness, to create communication from my sphere of influence and where I live, and I will seek it from you. I will seek your wise counsel on a regular basis. I am retired, so watch out. I will be there on behalf of all, so that we can really, and I said this on the campaign trail, I want to believe what is said in Shared Prosperity Kalamazoo, that we will transform the culture of the city so that it becomes the city of promise for everyone. So that we can believe those words when we say them, that we can actually work to eliminate generational poverty. No city of our size is actually saying and believing those words. I believe them, and I promise you I will work my heart of service for this community to make sure that happens. We have so much to do. Let us move forward together. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Griffin.
So I just want to echo some of the comments that my amazing colleagues have echoed. Definitely want to thank everyone who ran for this race. This is not an easy thing. I also want to acknowledge the voters who came out as commissioner, not just lifted up. We had about 10,000 people come out, and for those of you, I've said this 1,000 times, we have such low voter turnout, and you all showed up and showed out. So I just really want to thank everyone who took the opportunity to lift their voice and make it be heard. So thank you so much for that. I want to thank you, Mayor Hopewell, for believing in me. You have a lot to do with me being in this seat right now. It's probably a little cliche, it's in your name, but you allowed me to have hope. You have allowed many people to have hope, and I don't have the words. I've said this 3 times at 3 different meetings, and I still don't have the words to truly thank you. It was an absolute honor to have you pin me, and I look forward to being able to continue this legacy that you have set forth for this community. And to you, Commissioner Cooney, the amazing words, the experience, the work, and the more I continue to learn about you is so inspirational. And I was so fortunate. I had no idea the fortune and the blessings that I had to be able to serve these 100 or so days with you all, but it has impacted me in just tremendous ways. And I really want to thank you for the people in this community who may not have a chance to say thank you, for the people who don't know how hard you all go for this community, because people have ideas, they have perceptions. I know, because I sit in the room. That's why sitting in the room is important, because you get firsthand knowledge. I know how hard these two work and how much they care about this community. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Truly, thank you. I want to say that for someone who lives in this community, who didn't see a whole lot of people like herself in these places and spaces, I cannot tell you how much of an honor it is to be the second Black vice mayor, female in the city of Kalamazoo. And I sure hope that it doesn't take another 30 years for that to happen. And I look forward to more people being active, not just on city commission, but on the many boards and the many rooms that we have and all the work that is being done. I just look forward to seeing so many more young women and young men in these spaces and places. To my family, very quickly, not very quickly, but I really want to thank you all. This work, this doesn't happen without you all. To my husband at Genesis, thank you very much for your support, your tireless support. To Genesis and Ryder, you were there every step of the way when you didn't want to be, but it's important to plant that seed. When I say we need to have action and youth be involved, it would be wrong for me to say that and not bring my own out here with me. And I thank you for that. I'm thankful for my nephew to be here today to be able to witness this, and hopefully that seed is planted with him, Brian Williams, as you get older and you be able to reflect on this. Oh, Sam Brooks, my papa, I love you so much, and I'm so thankful for you. So much of who you are has made me who I am. And to be able to sit here, it means so much to me. My dad, Raleigh McCormick, I haven't seen him in a couple years. He lives in California. We talk all the time. But he flew up here just for this today. And I cannot tell you how much that means to me to have been told how much hope I have offered people in this community. And it was just because someone gave me hope. And I just want to thank you all for that. Thank you to my family and everyone on this commission. You all gave me the opportunity in June, and I can't thank you enough for that. I appreciate you. You have all taught me so much. I look forward to serving with you, Commissioner Prado and Commissioner Hess. Congratulations, Mayor Anderson, on the work. And I want to lift up the city staff. And I hate to just group people up and say the city staff. They are amazing. Not everybody gets it right. We're all not going to get it right. Everybody's not going to agree on everything. But when I tell you that people care and want to do this work, I mean it. I sit in the rooms and they want to do this work. And you will watch more of this work get done. So thank you.
So who wouldn't want a team like this going forward? You know, now I get the opportunity of listening to everyone speak first and think, okay, well, see you later, it's all been said. And I don't want to say it all over again, so I will not. First thing I do want to do, I want to thank everybody who believed in this vision of building a Kalamazoo that leaves no one behind and worked hard for it. Everyone that worked on our campaigns, on my campaign in particular, hours and hours, late at night, early in the morning, pushed to the point of exhaustion, thank you so much. And I will do my best to fulfill the commitments I've made and the hopes that we all have for the city of Kalamazoo. I appreciate that. I do want to back up for a minute because it is so important, and it is not a normal thing. Obviously, it does not happen, but every 7 years that we actually have an installation like this of public servants on November 11th, which is the day that we recognize really the ultimate public service, and the public service that over the centuries has helped make sure that we can have this kind of democratic transition of power, sharing of a vision, and working together. So I want to lift that up. This day is a special day. I think it makes this work we're doing even more profound. I want to ask this from all of us here in the community. And I think we are all well aware that it is a challenging time right now. And some of the ways that we converse, even with people that we may agree with 95% of the things that we share in common, it's a time right now when we are likely to throw each other under the bus over that 5% we don't agree on. And there's a culture right now that is not a culture that's bringing us together. It's a culture that is pushing us apart. And that is not how I intend to try to lead this work in Kalamazoo. And I can tell you for an absolute fact that those of us up here, as good a group as this is, are not going to agree on every single detail of every single item. And I can also say for a fact that now that we are all sitting up here together, sometimes we will be voting on things that are 60-40. They're not slam dunk, this is obviously the way to go. You have to make hard choices, and when you're sitting in this seat, you have to vote, yes or no. And everybody gets to watch that. And I'm asking for grace. For each one of us, to each other, but more so for the community, for the people that are sitting up here. And know that some evening, may be making a vote that someone down the street who they have to see every day in a walk will not necessarily agree with them about. And I'm asking for grace. I'm asking to recognize the importance of doing this work, even in times when we don't always agree, but that we do this work with kindness. So Kalamazoo, let's go forth and be kind to each other. We are adjourned.